how to dominate her heart with Machiavelli's forbidden strategies. Most guys out there chase women with fancy gifts, good looks, or smooth talk, and that's the main reason they end up being just another face in the crowd. But Machiavelli, he dug way deeper into the human mind. He figured out something shadowy, something that average men never even notice. The real aim isn't to get her to like you, it's to stick in her head forever. Not by making her happy all the time, but by pulling the strings on what she feels when you're not around. In this video, I'm going to break down 9 dark psychological tricks straight from Machiavelli's playbook. These are built to spark an obsession in her, without you ever having to say a single nice thing or beg for her attention. No running after her, no putting on a show, no pleading for her feelings. You'll discover how to turn into that guy she can't put into words, but she also can't get out of her thoughts. Stick around and pay close attention. Because once you grasp how this all clicks together, you'll never approach women the same way as every other dude out there. Imagine knowing secrets that make her chase you without even trying. What if I told you that by the end of this, you'll have the tools to make that happen? Keep watching, because this could change everything for you. The strength of fear compared to love. Machiavelli had this one saying that a lot of guys brush off. Not because it's off base, but because it hits too close to home and feels uneasy. He said, it's way better to be feared than just loved. At first glance, that comes off as harsh, like only a bad guy would think that way. But if you stop and really watch, not what people claim, but what they actually do in real life, especially how women act around different kinds of men, it starts to click. Love feels nice and cozy, like a soft blanket. It's that warm feeling everyone wants, but it's also the one we start ignoring when it's always there. When love is handed out freely, without any pushback, it stops feeling special. It turns into just something in the background, comfy but easy to overlook. And this is where so many men mess up big time. They figure if they pour out more love, show more care, open their hearts wider, she see how great it is, and stick around. But what really goes down? She stops noticing it at all. Because stuff that's given away too easily, with no effort needed, loses all its pull. Now, let's talk about fear. Not the scary kind that involves hurting someone, shouting, trying to boss them around, or getting physical. That's just a sign of being weak and pretending to be tough, and women pick up on that right away. The real kind of fear is when a guy sets his limits so strong and clear that she senses them without him ever needing to spell it out. He doesn't yell or get into fights. He doesn't go on about why he's valuable. He just steps back quietly. In that quiet space, it hits her harder than any big emotional talk ever could. This type of man doesn't go chasing after her. He doesn't spill his guts about feeling hurt. He doesn't beg her to hang around. He lets her deal with the empty spot he leaves behind. And that empty feeling, it packs a punch way stronger than any outburst. Why? Because the second she gets that, he's for real about his boundaries. Everything flips. She realizes he won't bend his own rules just to hold on to her. She knows that if she steps over the line and disrespects him, she's the one who loses out. And right there, what started as simple interest turns into a full-blown fixation. Not from him giving her extra stuff, but from him being okay with giving zero when his principles get ignored. That's the essence of this fear. It's not being afraid of the guy himself, but being afraid of what life feels like without him, especially since she can't boss him around. And here's the hidden mind trick behind it all. Deep down, most women aren't hooked on just being loved all the time. What really grabs them is the guy who doesn't rely on her love to feel whole and okay. That's the reason women end up pursuing the one who walks off without a fuss. That's why they give respect to the guy who stands firm and doesn't cave in. That's why their thoughts keep circling back to the man who never once pleaded for another chance. He wasn't being mean or nasty. He wasn't out to cause pain. He was just rock solid, with standards that no amount of sweet talk could buy off. When Machiavelli dropped that line about fearing being safer than loving, he wasn't throwing love out the window. He was pointing out that respect has to show up first, without that worry of losing something good. Love gets lazy and taken for granted. The strongest pull doesn't come from piling on more gifts or affection. It comes from being ready to pull back completely. If she doesn't appreciate what she's got, think about it. She might enjoy your time together. She might even say she loves you. But if there's no real fear of you walking away for good, you're just another option she can swap out. Flip that around. Though if she senses deep inside that you won't stick where you're not valued, you won't have to beg for her focus anymore. She'll be the one stepping up, working hard to keep you interested. That's not being cruel. It's like a natural force pulling things in. It's that shadowy side of attraction. And it's the real edge of fear, beating out plain old love every time. Take control of how you come across. Machiavelli put it out there in a way that's straightforward but hits hard. You don't have to actually be good all the time. What matters is looking like you are. This flips the script on what most guys grow up believing. From when we're kids, we're told that if you're nice, faithful, put in the effort, and tell the truth, people will look up to you. Women will want to be with you. Life will pay you back for it. But guess what? That's not how it rolls. The world doesn't dig into your real self, it judges based on what it sees on the outside. You could be the most loyal person, super smart, with strong morals and good intentions. But if you show up slouching, talking shaky, or giving off nervous vibes, nobody's going to sense your true value. Least of all, a woman. Attraction for women doesn't kick off with cold hard facts about who you are. It starts with how she sees you and what that makes her feel. She's not breaking down your reasons or logic step by step. She's picking up on your vibe, the way you carry yourself when you walk, the confidence in your voice, how you handle it when things get tough. That's where shaping your image turns into real strength. This isn't faking it or lying about who you are deep down. It's about how you present things, like putting a frame around a picture to make it stand out. People don't react to raw truth. They react to what seems true in the moment. If you don't steer how you're viewed, then her feelings, her preconceived ideas, or stuff from her past will paint the picture for you, and it might not be flattering. So, how do you put this into play? When you're feeling doubtful inside, stand tall like someone who's got it all figured out. When anger bubbles up, talk steady like you own the situation. When every part of you wants to chase her down, hold back and do zilch, let her make the move toward you. There's huge power in staying still and quiet. Mystery draws people in like a magnet. Show her most of who you are, say about 80%, but keep a bit hidden behind that calm look in your eyes. Let her brain fill in the blanks with her own ideas. What she dreams up on her own will often pack more punch than anything you could explain out loud. People don't go after what they get completely. They chase the stuff that slips just out of reach. This is how that deep obsession starts to build. Not from spilling every detail about yourself, but from keeping quiet. Not from trying to win her over with arguments, but from just being there solidly. Quit over-explaining every little thing. Stop pushing so hard to be fully understood. Start crafting that image of yourself carefully. In a world where how things look rules everything, your image isn't just important tits, the whole playing field. Master it, and you control the game without even seeming like you're trying. Become both the lion and the fox. Every woman is going to put you through some tests. Not to mess with you on purpose, but to check if you'll crack under pressure. She'll change her mood out of nowhere. She'll back off a bit, then come close, then pull away again. She'll say stuff that doesn't match what she does. All of it boils down to one big question. Do you fall apart, or do you stand strong? A ton of guys don't even spot these tests happening. They assume she's just mixed up or going through feelings. So they start explaining themselves, saying sorry for things they didn't do, trying to smooth it over with talk, and boom, just like that, they've lost her respect. But Machiavelli laid out the perfect plan hundreds of years back. To hold real power, You've got to be like a lion and a fox rolled into one. The lion stands for raw strength. He doesn't chase anyone down, doesn't bother explaining, sets clear lines with his quiet confidence. He owns the space without making a sound. The fox is all about smarts. He doesn't bite at every little provocation, keeps his plans close, listens carefully, and makes his move only when the timing is spot on. Here's the pitfall that traps most men. If you're all lion, just brute force and direct, sheep poke until you blow up, and then you look out of control. Your strength turns into just loud chaos. If you're pure fox, sneaky and cool-headed, she'll like your wit but won't feel that solid backbone, and without it, she won't follow your lead. But combine them. If she spots that quiet power in how you stay calm and smart thinking, in how you hold back, she won't be able to guess your next step. That not knowing, that built-up tension, it grabs her attention way deeper than any fancy words. So how do you live this out? When she's all worked up emotionally, channel the fox, observe without jumping in. Let her pushes bounce off your steady vibe. When she steps over a boundary, switch to lion mode, not with mad yelling or empty warnings, but with a strong, silent stand that screams, "This is my line, and I'm not budging." That's the kind of guy she looks up to, not for being loud, but for not flinching, not for spelling everything out, but for not needing to. She won't figure out how to manipulate you because you're not playing those games. You observe, you bide your time, you step up only when it counts. That's true power, not flashy talk or fake charm, but a mix of solid strength and quiet brains. The lion guards yourself. The fox keeps your thoughts sharp. Together, they turn you into someone she can't shake from her mind, no matter what. Split her thoughts in two. One of Machiavelli's classic rules for power is dead simple: divide and rule. But this isn't limited to big battles or kingdoms. It sneaks right into how people's minds work. You don't take charge of a woman by pushing hard or arguing. You don't smash her ideas straight on. Instead, you plant a tiny seed of doubt and let her brain handle the heavy lifting. When a woman feels totally sure about something, she's calling the shots. She knows her wants, feels steady and secure. Your job, not to wreck what she believes, but to nudge her into questioning it a little. Just one small, surprising twist. Not a full fight, just a hint. For example, she might say, "I can't stand guys who get jealous." You just grin, easy, stay chill and light. That's what you believe right now. That simple line. It cracks open a door. Tiny, no big deal, but it goes deep. Her mind kicks into gear. What did he really mean by that? Am I sure about this? Why is that sticking with me? That's how you start. Dividing, not splitting you from her, but creating a split inside her own head. One part holds onto her old view, but another starts wondering. She loses her grip on the story, and you're the quiet force that started it all. This isn't about bossing through force. It's steering through mind tension. Lots of guys dodge this stuff. They hurry to nod along, to get on her good side. They make her feel all confirmed and safe in her thoughts. But being too sure doesn't draw her in. That inner pull from not knowing does. When she's split, curious, a bit conflicted, her feelings stay wide open. And in that open spot, your pull gets stronger without effort. Don't battle her ideas head on. Just give them a gentle poke with your calm words. Then step back and let the quiet work its magic. She debates herself inside. Before she knows it, you've slipped into her thoughts, not as something scary, but as an intriguing puzzle. That's the Machiavelli way of drawing someone in, not by overpowering or stirring up drama. It's like a surgeon's careful cut, clean and exact. Power that doesn't feel heavy because it comes across as just sparking her interest. And that interest, it's the bait that keeps her coming back around you. Even when you're not saying a word. Give rewards bit by bit, but hit with punishment fast and hard. Machiavelli pointed out, do all the harm at once. but hand out the good stuff slowly. This goes beyond old-time politics. It's a smart way to handle feelings in today's relationships, and it clicks better than you'd think. The real deal is this: when someone steps over your line, don't get all emotional or start a big talk. Don't try to teach a lesson or make them feel bad with words. Just make one sharp, cool action. Go quiet, create some space, pull back your time and attention. No loud arguments, no long explanations, no trying to make her guilty. Just that quick drop of your presence, and let it sink in. Why does this work so well? Because there's no pushback for her to fight against. She's stuck with her own head, her own second guessing, her own what-ifs. Her thoughts go wild. What did I mess up? Why the silence? Is this it for us? That empty quiet turns into a reflection she can't avoid. On the flip side, for the good stuff, when she's being true, warm, showing you respect, you dole it out small and sparse. A quick glance that means something, a real smile, a compliment that feels earned and not fake. Then back to normal, no overload. You don't flutter with affection or make her think she's got you locked down. Think of it like how casinos keep people hooked, not with huge wins every time, but with unpredictable little payouts. She never knows when the next good vibe is coming, so she sticks around, keeps trying. That's the addictive part, not how big the reward is, but when it shows up. Too many guys flip this backward. They dish out punishments too often, get emotional and shaky, become easy to predict. But you strike with one firm punishment. No heads up, no scene, just the boundary crossed, and the quiet follows. When she's back in line, you trickle the positives, just enough to leave her wanting more. This isn't mean-spirited. It's about having discipline. It's Machiavelli's mind games dressed up in steady control. Hurt delivered quick sticks in memory, and joy spread out thin gets craved endlessly. Now, you're not just some guy. She sees you as a whole setup. Her brain can't quit engaging with. Observe her every move, then drop one sharp line. While most guys get caught up staring at a woman's looks, the Machiavelli-style man focuses on how she acts. He's not thrown off by her beauty or driven by desire. He watches with calm focus and sharp eyes. He picks up on how her tone changes when she's with a guy she respects versus one she can wrap around her finger. He notes the little things, her voice getting softer, her eyes darting around, her body language shifting based on who's there. He sees when she's putting on a front and when she lets it slip. No questions asked, no flattery given, just pure attention. Because other men are busy trying to get close physically, he's already deep in her headspace. Then, at the perfect spot, not too soon, not too late, he lets out one line. Cool, on point, no feelings attached. Something like your voice changes when he's in the room. Or, that laugh sounds forced. No blame, no extra tone, no grin. Then nothing, just quiet. In that instant, her whole view shifts. That wasn't some sweet talk she could brush off. That was a raw truth hitting her when she least expected it. From a guy who didn't care if she liked it or not. A woman's brain doesn't let go of those moments. It loops them over and over. How did he spot that? What else has he noticed? Was it that clear? Has he been paying attention all along? Now, she doesn't feel just noticed. She feels seen through, exposed, and not by pushing or demanding, but by simply being there. You didn't beg for her time. You didn't battle for the upper hand. You just caught what others overlooked and called it out when no one else would. That's mind control at its quietest. Not aggressive or show-eats. Subtle strength that echoes in her head way after you're gone. When you hit on that hidden part no one else touched, you leave a lasting spot. She'll forget the nice words and short hookups, but the guy who spotted her facade and named it, she won't shake that. Not to wound her, but to signal you're different. You don't buy into the show. You see the mechanics under it. Once she feels that, you're stuck in her thoughts, even if you disappear from view. Steer things with your absences. If you're always right there, always replying quick, always showing up, you turn into something expected. And expected stuff gets forgotten fast, but vanish without a heads up. No big scene, no reasons given you. Become the one she can't erase. Not as a punishment or ignore tactic, but by making an empty space. Women's minds hate empty spaces. They have to fill them up, figure out the missing piece. When you go radio silent, her thoughts crank up louder than before. She goes over your last chat, rewinds every look, every break in talk, every unsaid word. She hunts for hints that might not exist. Did I screw up? Why no contact? Was it all an act? She's not basking in your focus anymore. She's bothered by the lack of it. That's the secret sauce. Most guys overdo the explaining, the giving, the hanging around. You dip out. No farewell, no argument, not to hurt, but to open up room. In that room, she starts picturing you bigger, more distant, stronger. You're not just a person anymore. You're a puzzle without an end. This isn't mean. It's about creating sharp differences in feelings. Warmth, 1 minute, gone the next. There and then shadowed. That flip-flop hits her emotions harder than any praise. But key point, don't vanish from anger or as a gimmick. Use it when she's starting to undervalue you. Absence only bites if your being there mattered first. When you come back, stay cool, like nothing happened. She won't hit you with mad words. It'll be questions and a bit of worry, knowing you could bail any time without blinking. That's not tricking her. It's like a natural pull. It doesn't run after things, it draws them close. So step away just enough for her to doubt if she ever truly had a hold on you. Turn into her big change moment. To really stick in her head for life. Don't settle for being a guy she kinda liked. Become the point where her life took a turn, not some casual date or hookup. Be the shift that redefined her path. Women don't hold on to every guy they've been with, but they never let go of the one who sparked something buried deep. Something emotional they didn't know was there. This goes beyond stuff like presence, appearance, or being charming. It's about making a real dent. Speak the truths others shy from. Lock eyes and call out what she keeps hidden. Not to embarrass, but to prove you see the real her. Beyond the outside, beyond the pretty face, right to her core. Do it without chasing approval or trying to wow her. And you don't just step into her world, you reshape it. Some smart thinkers like Freud said, emotional marks shape what we want, and people seek out what left a scar on their feelings. Machiavelli got that controlling the tail means controlling the thoughts. So take the reins, not by shoving, but by becoming the part of her story she can't edit out. Maybe you're the first guy who didn't pursue her endlessly. The one who drew a line and actually left when it got crossed. Or you questioned her views, made her stop and rethink who she is. Then you bounce, not mad, not pleading, just out, but not fully out, because in her head, you linger. You turn into the link to her growth. That kind of mark doesn't fade. She might date others, smile through it, even say your name slipped her mind. But deep down, behind every grin, there's a quiet voice saying, he shifted me. Once you're at that pivot in her life, you don't scrap for a spot in her feelings anymore. You've claimed it without a fight. Wrapping it up, real control starts right now. Let's get this straight. These aren't cheesy lines or quick tricks. They're not just ways to pick up dates. They're solid mind setups made to flip secret switches in a woman's brain. Switches that move her from thinking straight to being hooked, from holding the reins to wanting more. Most guys scramble for her notice. They crack jokes, pursue hard, put on acts. But what you're crafting is a presence that doesn't aim to amuse. It makes her stop, ponder, feel things even against her will. You're not around to keep her entertained or prove your worth. You're not her admirer, her shadow, or her counselor. You're the force that tips her balance. Not with yells or constant pleasing, but by dropping that one piercing truth that breaks through her walls and letting it sit. You build quiet spaces. You stir up puzzles. You carve out room in her thoughts that no one else can occupy. This isn't gentle, it's exact and sharp. Most men miss it because they're hooked on getting nods of approval, blind to the framework under feelings. But if watching this stirred something in you, if it woke up a gut instinct, then this video isn't casual watching. It's a wake-up call, a sign you're tired of the usual chase for love, care, or spotlight. You're set to create that pull instead of begging for thumbs up. So, if this rings true, deep down, drop the word control in the comments. Just that one word, nothing else. It shows me you're not here for fun. You're here to grab the steering wheel. And if you're geared up to dive deeper, to really own attraction, strength, and quiet emotional rule, hit subscribe now. Because the stuff coming up won't just teach you to win her over. It'll transform you into the man who never has to try.